Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, all of you. Today we are going to discuss about the method to determine viscosity using Oswald viscometer method. So Oswald viscometer is a U-shaped glass tube having two arms. In one of its arms, there is a capillary section. So liquid flows slowly through this capillary section. So before starting experiment, you have to thoroughly clean this Oswald viscometer using warm water, or you can use acetone if required. Then mount this Oswald viscometer vertically using this clamp on a stand. So before you start the experiment, you must know that uh, there are two arms of this Oswald viscometer and there are enlarged sections. So on one side here, you can see this is the enlarged section and you have to fill this Oswald viscometer till this point just near to the neck of this enlarged section. On other arm, you'll find the two marks. This is the start mark and this is the stop mark. If the marking is not present on Oswald viscometer, then manually you can use the marker to mark these 2 points on two different ends of this enlarged section. Okay, so there are two enlarged section on the arm B. So the lower one you can select on either side of this lower enlarged section. You can use the marking start mark and stop mark. And just below this enlarged section, there is a capillary section. Now you have to, after the liquid is filled in the Oswald viscometer, allow the suction on arm B using the rubber bulb. So because of the suction, the liquid will rise in the arm B and the liquid level, it moves down in the arm A. So ensure that the meniscus is just above the start mark. So for suction, you have to use the rubber bulb. Then remove the rubber bulb. The liquid level will start flowing in the downward direction in the arm B. Okay. Once it reach the start mark, once the meniscus of the liquid it reach the start mark, you have to start the stopwatch. The liquid will slowly move in the downward direction in the arm B. Observe the meniscus of the liquid. Once it reach the stop mark, you have to stop the stopwatch and note down the time required for liquid to flow from start mark to the stop mark. And that time is T. Now let us once again revise the whole procedure. Thoroughly clean the Oswald viscometer using warm water. Use acetone if required. Mount the viscometer vertically on a stand using clamp. Fill the viscometer till the mark F. Same volume of liquid must be used for water and sample liquid. Note down the time required in seconds for liquid, that is water and sample liquid, to flow from start mark to stop mark. Repeat the above step 3 times. Determine the densities of the liquid using specific gravity bottle. Now this is the observation table. Initially, you have to perform the experiment for water, taking water as a sample. Note down the time required for water to flow. Repeat the procedure 3 times. So Write down the time required in seconds. In first time, how much time you have noted down. Write it here. The next time, and then third time, whatever time you have observed for water to flow from start mark to stop mark, note it down here. Then take the average of all these readings. Now perform the same procedure for sample liquid. Note down the time required for sample liquid to flow from start mark to stop mark. Perform this procedure 3 times. Every time you have to note down the time required to flow for the sample liquid from start mark to stop mark. Then note down the average of all these 3 readings. Determine the density of the sample liquid using specific gravity body. The viscosity of water is given, that is 0.9 centipoise. Note down the room temperature using thermometer in degrees Celsius. To determine the viscosity, you have to use the formula. Eta 2 is equal to rho 2 into T2 divided by rho 1 into T1 multiplied by eta 1. Whereas eta 1 is the viscosity of the water, that is 0.9 centipoise. Eta 2 is the viscosity of given sample liquid in centipoise. Rho 1 is the density of the water, that is given 1 gram per cc. Rho 2 is the density of the given sample liquid, gram per cc, that you have to determine using specific gravity bottle. T1 is the mean time or average time required for flow of water in seconds. T2 is the mean time required for flow of given sample liquid in seconds. Now, once you put up all the values in the formula, you can determine the viscosity of unknown liquid sample. Now you have to write the results in this way. The viscosity of a given liquid sample at suppose 25 degrees Celsius was found to be uh, in centipoise. You have to write down the result. Thank you.